All right, guys, we are gonna lock this on. Oh, okay. Gotta go for my observing hotkeys. And we will lock that in there. We will get a little ESL logo up because why not? I will turn my webcam off in game. I have not left my headset plugged in. Big brain. Let me plug that in, make sure it gets its charge. Let me get this Zoom call going. Nope. It's lagging, sorry guys. Oh, finally. Zoom has had so much traffic lately, it's actually lagging real bad. Main on Zoom meeting. Okay, cool. All right, guys, one sec. All right, testing. Okay. All right, guys, sorry. Zoom is not picked up my audio apparently.
Gonna forego casting the game until Pig gets his audio situated.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, sorry about that, mate.
You're right.
First time using Zoom with a new headset. Should have thought. I thought I had everything set up this time, but
I think Zoom updated because I never used to have to admit anyone. Like I didn't have to be like, yes, allow the person I just sent a private link to into my calls. Like they have a private link for a reason. That's
yeah. It also took like a good 20 seconds from clicking the link for the web page to load, which tells me there's about 50, 70 million people on work meetings around the world right now using Zoom.
Also that, I didn't even think about that. That's true.
Dude, they must be hiring servers like crazy right now. Like it's insane.
Well, commiserations on the series against Golden.
No worries, dude. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was definitely it was a clencher. It was entertaining for sure.
I learnt some things. Mutas beat spore crawlers if you don't keep your queens alive.
It turns out spore crawlers don't beat mutas. I was under the impression for the last 8 years that they do.
I was as well. It turns out, if you don't have the queens with the long range, adding that like punish every time they snipe a spore, it's like, oh, he's just like one-shotting spores and not losing mutas. And I'm like, oh no. Which is very cool. And that push, I hadn't seen that one in like 6 months. The Einstein build, I think Golden calls it, with the proxy spine off the hatch cancel. Such a cool build, man. I was really unsure how to react. I was like, oh no, not one of these. Like, that's one of those builds you need to have a pre-planned response. But anyways, action's starting to pick up here in this game. The Spire on the way behind this for TLO gets the cancel on the 4th. And of course, Cham playing the more typical Roach play, up 15 workers right now. TLO's got to get some more damage done here.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to get a cancel on that 4th again, which is nice. He also got most of Cham's ground forces, but in come the Roaches, of course, so the third base is going to be pretty safe here for the Mexican Zerg. And TLO is streaming in more units, just really trying to trade well with Cham wherever he can. I'm with you, though. You know, Cham's going to have that big ground pound army. TLO is going to get up that Spire, and Cham is unaware of it. You know, he hasn't actually been on TLO's side of the map with anything for a long time. So I could see these Mutas kind of catching Cham, although you see Hydra Den is on the way, Infestation Pit as well. So Cham, you know, he is just going to tech towards Lurkers because it is that time in ZVZ, but sort of by extension is also going to be have the tech available to fight back Mutas.
Yeah, good speed Overseer coming because he's got Overlord speed. Upon seeing the Spire and these Mutas, he's going to have to run these Overlords off the map because there's a few of them hanging out a little exposed, and you can see Cham, they're actually pulling a lot of the ones near his base home already. He's got sick upgrades. What he doesn't have is a queen count. He's got 3 queens only. Yes, he's got 6 queens, sorry, now 3 more did pop out, and he does have 3 more on the way, but he's got no creep spread between his bases. It's just starting now, so he's just quickly saying, oh, okay, this is the sort of game I want to have as much creep as possible. But TLO finds an opening. TLO always plays the lower economy ZVZ, and he's always looking for damage, just like this. Zerglings find a Spore, they find the queen in the drones. Good micro with the workers, but that Spore Crawler's gonna go down, and the Mutas find the open mineral line.
Yeah, these Mutas going to have a field day here in the main base with none of these units able to shoot up. There's no Hydras, no nothing like that for Cham. So the Mutas also finding some splash damage here on that hurt drone line. Ooh, baby. Up and drones. 8 drones going down there, that last shot of Glaives. He's going to grab the Lurker Den.
A few Mutas did rally through the Lurkers and the Queens and a Spore Crawler. So he's lost about 4 Mutalisks so far, at least 3 of them. And they're still taking a big bruising. So does have to be a little careful. And this is the thing where in the past, we've watched TLO take the fight to Scarlet, take the fight to Namshar, these like really just tip-top Zergs. The one thing which I've been critical of in the past is TLO not droning up hard enough behind it. This time, already up at 66 workers, more on the way straight to Infestation Pit. I'm really impressed with the evolution in this style I'm seeing from TLO. You've got your opponent pinned on 3 base. Take advantage. Get a 4th base up. Drone it up. Get ahead on the income. And he seems to be doing that this time.
Yeah, he's maybe just adjusting from just the experience, like the amount of games that go wrong for him when he doesn't do what you just suggested, you know. So just sort of making a small change there. Diving onto the Spore Crawlers and the Hydras. Normally what you want to do is with the Mutas, but I mean, he's just got so many.
Does find some pickups, but it's a lot of Mutas dying as well right now. 17 Mutas, a few Queens go down. The Transfuse does get drained. I mean, the cool thing is whenever you can take those trades where a lot of Mutas get damaged, I mean, basically that's like the sign of you taking a good fight. If you've got a lot of orange and red Mutas, normally not a good thing. In this scenario it is. It means you've not lost that many Mutas. Most of your opponent's damage is going to get regenerated over the next minute or so. But if you do keep diving, I mean, that's it. Free trade. That was a Hydra for nothing except hit points. So he's going to keep bouncing around. We've got a few Infestors. I love just 2 Infestors coming out. The Mutas! Oh my god, absolutely horny. Jesus.
Yeah, damn, they dived there. That was a real cover bomb. But a lot of Mutas took damage and also died in the making of that run by. They did get a couple Infestors. See that Cham is going up into Hive here to get the units that you want against this kind of unit comp, similar to what you did actually on Nightshade. You know, go up to Hive, get your Infestors up, or just a good number of Lurkers. Cham's not going for Infestors though, or let's see Infestors.
Oh, the Lings getting on top of the Queens. Anytime this happens, those Queens do take big damage, but the Mutas were bruised. The Roaches come forward. 4th gets cancelled again. But I mean, just look at the supply right now. Cham is actually ahead in supply, and 2-2 is finishing. That +2 Carapace is one of the most important upgrades because it negates the +2 melee of the Zerg player. Ooh, hotkey, the Lurker hotkey.
Oh, no.
Of course, that's a common one. So maybe Cham played some co-op recently. Here's a heads up, guys. If you ever play co-op, just make sure you change your hotkey profile to a special standard hotkey profile layout called co-op before you play it, or it will fudge all of your hotkeys. Oh, he's gonna blow up the hatch. Nice.
Also, I really love from TLO here is not only is he getting a 5th hatch on his side of the map, he's also getting an aggressive hatchery in front of Cham's face.
Oh my god. On both sides of the map, and then both the rich gases as well. And he's doing the Ling drops in the main, which is one of my favorite things. This is the thing that in the past has always gotten me so excited about TLO's Ling, Bane, Muta, Zerg versus Zerg. At the point where a lot of players are like, I can't beat the Lurkers now. They're sieged on the front. TLO will just keep running in, sniping spores with Banelings, picking off hatcheries with Mutas there, and at the same time, he opens a new front in the main base. This is the Gallipoli of Zerg versus Zerg right now, except he actually finds an opening.
He's in the trenches.
He's going to dive in there, man.
This Ling drop into the main base is so annoying here for Cham. He's got
spores.
a really powerful army.
The spores get sniped. The Mutas rotate up here as well. And if he pulls too many Lurkers away from anywhere else or anything like that, Banelings may find openings on the other bases. The Hive is actually getting focused right now. There are no Vipers out on the map, but oh, he just focused it a little bit too late. The Muta's a bit too slow. He's going to dive for it and actually does end up then committing to a fight on the Hydras. Wow. Remember, those are 2-2 Hydralisks. I mean, this would have been okay, but oh, just barely works out there for TLO. Takes them down. No Vipers on the map, and that gives TLO a sigh of relief.
He's actually doing incredible damage here in the main base with these Mutas. Cham's going to force back the rest of the Hydras. He gets that fungal.
Oh, the double fung.
Yeah.
Ouch.
A lot of the Mutas, if not all the Mutas, going to go down here finally. So that has ended, but there's 7 more on the way for TLO. Still committing to more and more Mutalists. And I don't see why not. But
you know, yeah, I mean, you stay in the main there too long. It's a thing, it looks good at first. You're like, yeah, we hold all this ground, but that's because we're too far back from the front line, Maynard. We forget that down there in the trenches, you stay too long. Double fungal growth on the Mutas, and it was like 14 Mutas that got trench foot, dude. It was pretty nasty. Yeah, big lags. I see it.
Oh my.
This is huge. I hope that's not us. Obviously, internet everywhere in the world is struggling recently.
Sure, yeah. My internet's fine, like 0 drop frames or anything like that. I'm keeping an eye on it,
but that's us to the Australian server as well, right? Whereas us to the US East BNet server maybe could be having some troubles. Hopefully it would not lag the game. We'll keep our eyes on it because I did pop up to 400 ping there for a moment. So that is a sign that maybe, just maybe. But we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I'm on 250. Yeah, anyway. So 11 droids go down there. Cham has finally gotten to that point where his army is just better than TLO's. Like, it's way better than TLO's. So TLO's stopping this army. He's done so much, like, backstabbing damage to Cham, but can he actually stop this push? Is the big question I have.
Right now, 44 Mutas and 135 Zerglings have gone down this game. TLO has not been particularly efficient. In fact, 6,000 resources behind. He's looking for the Muta snipes, comes in, gets a Lurker. Cops a fungal, but not too bad. The Mutas do mostly get out of there. He loses 10 drones, though, on these bases, but he's still got that bottom right. Rich gas guys are going. He is up just a handful of workers. This army is just so scary. He's going to jump on it. Woo!
Banelings roll on through, looking for more lurker kills. I think TLO didn't get enough lurkers.
3 red hit point lurkers survive there, and he goes for them. He's going to jump on the Hydras. Oh, man. I mean, he's going to win the Mutaverse Hydra battle, but will he have enough Mutas left over? So the Hydras are gone. We've got 24 Mutas in the sky, but these 30 Roaches, they know they're on a timer. They are going to look for big eco damage. Can they find it?
So far, it looks like 10, maybe a dozen drones going down. The Mutas will kill a lot of Roaches here. That army, the advantage of Cham was that giant army, that bigger economy. And he does still have the economy, but that big army is about to disappear here to TLO's Mutalists.
Yeah.
So +3 attack. They are just cutting through these drones, planes, and everything.
Dude, the +2 carapace. Even though the Mutas have +2, their bounces just get destroyed by that +2 carapace. So they don't do nearly as much. Like I said, carapace upgrades are all that matters when you're against this star. People always go on about range upgrades versus Lings and stuff. When you're playing someone who keeps committing to Ling, Bane, Muta, you need to negate their crazy damage output. And the +2 carapace being in so quick here for Cham was such a good investment. It's really kept him alive in this game so far.
The Mutas of TLO diving desperately here for those queens of Cham.
Oh my lord.
Every Muta loss here for TLO is a big deal.
59 Mutas have gone down, Maynard. That is insane.
Yeah, pretty insane, mate. Cham is continuing to take more and more damage from these Mutalists as TLO tries to get that drone count up to anywhere near what he used to have. And strangely enough, this hatchery on the far right is still mining rich Vespene gas for him. He's been getting away with murder over here on the right side with that hatchery. But can this many Mutas actually make up the difference for TLO? He is still finding spores. The main is exposed again. But yeah, Cham's got a little bit too much.
He's got that 5th base going up in the bottom and stuff. So, really nice defense there from Cham. I guess we could probably summarize that game just as TLO getting a little bit too randy. Just went a bit too deep, a bit too soon. Maybe needed to be a bit more careful. Like from those very first engagements, he was just diving through spores and queens. And even that first Muta dive in the main, 3 or 4 mutas ran through the queens and spores. So it was one of those things where it was like, cool, like, you know, he's caught him out of position with the ling run by and his mutas are going to join it. But he actually should have separated his mutas and just picked away at the natural, picked away at the third, and let the lings do what damage they could. So you never really want to dive your mutas between the natural and the third to get to the main. It's just way too dangerous, and his rally point got caught really badly.
Feels bad, man.
Am I not in the ESL channel? Oh, I had the other channel open. That's why I couldn't see the link. Thank you, mate.
You're right. Also, thank you very much to Zamo73 for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. I gave you a little bit of a headbang in game, but just wanted to send some love. I want to see, make sure that chat makes some noise every time we do get a sub or a resub.
Have you got the applause bot on, by the way? Or
no,
you know?
No. I find the applause bot is a really cool initiative, but
I'm going to turn mine on really quietly and see how it goes.
I find, like, I've tested with it, but I find it a little bit too, A, distracting, and B, like, there's a difference in sound quality between some of the applause sound bites.
I think they do sound a little bit better now, because he did use better ones. Oh, actually, never mind. I'm not going to do it. We've already got the game. Maybe after this game, we'll set it up. I've also got oh shit, I got multiple audio coming on here. Sorry. We've got multiple music tracks, playing at the same time. And
oh, good.
As much as the RimWorld soundtrack blend is a lovely soundtrack, let's maybe go for a single soundtrack, shall we?
One song at a time is generally how I like to play it, yeah.
And all right, so down here in the bottom right-hand side in the red representing Chivo, it is Cham.
Certainly is. He's up with the series against this kid. The top left, it is Canada's next favorite German, Liquids, TLO. Next favorite to, of course, Toby Lutke, being another German in Canada.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I was like, wait, that's why they, I get weird similar vibes between the two, isn't it? Germanians.
Germanians.
So I do apologize in advance. There are going to probably be a lot of World War I references today. I watched 1917 last night I thought it was a pretty fun movie, pretty cool.
Talking about Gallipoli and
yeah, it's on the mind. Have you watched it yet?
I have not. No. Last night I finished off Tiger King.
Oh, yeah. Was it? How many episodes do they have of that? Because I watched most of the first ep, but I felt like it was going to go too long, so I kind of stopped committing, but I might finish it.
I think it's like 8 episodes. So.
And they're like an hour each one?
Something like that.
Worth?
I am going to say no.
Yeah.
Like, I know people have they've got their dicks out for Tiger King, like it's the greatest TV show ever. But I think that might be the quarantine talking. It really is like, once you get over the fact that everyone's insane, it kind of loses.
Well, that's it. I was like, oh, these characters are crazy, but I got like 95% of the way through the first episode, or maybe 80%, and then I started fast forwarding it because I was like, oh, and I kind of like, I had a glance and I saw there was like many episodes. I was like, if there was 2 episodes, I think this would be perfect, and I'd like love it, and I'd watch the whole thing. But you know, I mean, we talked about this on the pile. I'm like, I feel like all of these modern documentaries, they kind of, you know, stretch them just a little bit too long. These Netflix docos, kind of crime thriller type ones. So unfortunately, but who knows? Maybe I'll get bored enough and crazy enough. I might go back and watch it. I do think that Joe Exotic guy seems like a fucking amazing, hilarious character.
He is, but the thing is, once you get over the fact that Joe Exotic is an amazing, hilarious character, it's like it doesn't really have, like, I watched it because of the shock value, but once the shock's gone, I'm like, okay, this is just kind of like nothing's really hooking me here. But anyway, so we do have some nibbles here from Cham's Lings, trying to just DPS that third base TLO a little. Cham delaying his third a little bit just to make sure he has that Ling advantage at the start, but doesn't generally get too much further than that. As we can see, Cham is starting to lose the Ling battle.
Okay. I think there's a button to change colors. Do you know if there is? Because color bind, I didn't realize they picked green and red.
If you like hold V, Alt F, or something like that, usually shows the colors that you pick in like the. I think when you're observing, you can't do it though. Like, you can't change.
Yeah, you can't change. I guess maybe if I can change it in the menu.
All right. Going for a big link slide, by the way.
Once this calms down, I'll try to fix that chat. But yeah, he's got a Roach Warren behind it, so he wants to follow up with a quick Roach Baneling afterwards as well. It's a real tempo play here at TLO, not wanting to sit back, and this is the map for it. But a big Baneling hit there for Cham.
Yeah, you got like, oh, maybe like 8 or 10 lings there of TLO. That Baneling hit, not too shabby either, getting 4 or so of those lings, and Cham's reinforcement's going to be more than enough here to hold back. TLO forced with this, he's got this roach tech, and he is going to have roaches, and that's fantastic, but this attack feels like it's kind of had the wind knocked out of its sails already.
Yeah, definitely has the potential to cause more chaos, though. +1 melee is not what you need right now, and Cham should desperately be looking for scouting. You've seen your opponents taking the forward hatch. You need to be scouting. You can't just be defending, but Cham is sitting way too defensive right now. He's now sending 2 lings across, but I think they're too late. They're going to take forever to get across the map. By that point, the roaches will already be pushing through his overlord vision. So right now we see Cham holding down the drone key. We've got 8 roaches out. They're gathering up at the front. They're going to run in. TLO continuing to just run Zerglings around. All he wants to do is pull Cham's attention away.
Yeah. He's trying to pull the wool over his eyes, as it were, literally and figuratively, you know. Got +1 attack on the way of a Cham on the melee unit, so that Cham wants to go for Spire play eventually, but TLO's not going to give him that opening.
No way. No Banelings have morphed on the front yet for TLO. Now that's one thing which could slow his push down. He's going to need Banelings. TLO is actually pulling back now and building more roaches. Oh no, there was an opening here. I'm not sure if he realized that. He's actually trying to fake it and then continue with the push. Banelings in the natural are going to find a big one. Oh, Cham, well played.
Very nice connection there with those Banelings. 7 drones going down, 2 still very damaged. And Cham's actually bringing the fight to TLO here. Cham has the faster army, so he could pull back, but I think once he sees this many roaches, he might think twice about this. Or maybe split his forces up.
Yeah. Oh, good trap there by Cham. Captures a few lings, almost gets more. It's a lot of Zergling Baneling now. Cham is still on pure Ling Bane. Dario needs Banelings with this. I mean, it's a big roach army, but even just 1 or 2 Banes would be amazing. Who knows? That's such a big roach ball. But I feel like, especially if melee kicks in and he gets a full surround, Cham will crush that number of roaches. They need a couple of Banelings. There's 2 lings in there. Morph Banelings, TLO, please. Big surround.
Yeah, Cham's gearing up for it, man. He's got so many lings at the 3rd base.
Oh,
and here comes the lings from the natural, and those Banelings looking to be the jelly inside of this donut. Get in there.
Oh my god, he hid the Zergling count so well.
Oh,
I mean, normally people are going roaches. TLO thought he was going to be running into roaches coming out. Comes up as like, what the hell? That's an insane Zergling count. And TLO, unfortunately, caught unprepared for that. Did not have the read on what Cham was doing. And if he'd morphed Banelings with that push, I tell you, Cham was in a very, very tight spot, but he just did not have the info.
Yeah, TLO is a previous finalist of this tournament, actually. Getting knocked out by Cham. And Cham's an extremely legit player, so not a huge surprise there, but commiserations to TLO.